Caitlin Clark, she declined an invitation to participate in a special challenge during NBA All-Star Weekend next month. That's what SNUBS reported on Wednesday. Now Clark's representatives, they expressed her desire to have her first three-point contest be at the WNBA All-Star in Indianapolis this summer. Sign, I'm not mad at it. What do you make of this decision? Look, I not only respect it, I absolutely wholeheartedly support it. Well, it's official, you guys. Caitlin Clark is not competing in the three-point contest at NBA All-Star. What happens when the biggest star in women's basketball says no to the NBA? Caitlin Clark knows how to use the word that many people struggle all their lives being able to use. Some of us never get it till we're old and just don't care no more. The word take a guess, take a guess. Controversy, debate, and of course outrage from ESPN. Caitlin Clark, the face of the WNBA's future, just turned down an invitation to compete in the NBA's three-point contest during All-Star Weekend. Well, it has just been confirmed from SNUBS that Caitlin Clark will not be competing in the NBA three-point contest. Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark will not participate in the NBA All-Star Special three-point shootout in San Francisco and wants her first three-point contest to be at WNBA All-Star in Indianapolis this summer. Her representatives at XL Sports, instead of celebrating her decision, sports media erupted into a frenzy. Some say she's dodging competition while others argue she's making a bold move to uplift the WNBA. So what's the real reason behind her refusal, and why is ESPN so mad about it? Stay tuned, because we're breaking it all down right now. Alright, let's get into this, because this whole Caitlin Clark situation has been making headlines nonstop. If you haven't heard by now, Caitlin Clark, the absolute superstar of women's basketball, just turned down an invitation to participate in the NBA's three-point contest at this year's All-Star Weekend. And man, people have a lot to say about it. ESPN, NBA fans, WNBA supporters, everyone's got an opinion, and the debate is getting heated. The momentum that Caitlin Clark has this season, with her being close to being the face of basketball, both men's and women's, this year. I just thought it was the perfect stage. And then obviously you know the possibility of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson teaming up once again back in Golden State and doing that home reunion thing, and then having Sabrina and Caitlin. To me, it just sounded like so much fun, and it would definitely bring a little spark to NBA All-Star. That NBA All-Star unfortunately has it now. Let's be real here. Caitlin Clark is the biggest name in women's basketball right now. She's not just a player, she's a movement. Everywhere she goes, she's breaking record selling out arenas and pulling in massive TV ratings. So when she made the decision to skip out on the NBA's offer, it wasn't just some minor scheduling conflict. It was a statement, a message, and apparently it's one that ESPN and a lot of sports analysts weren't ready to hear. So why did she turn it down? Is she afraid of the competition? Is she making a mistake? Or is she actually playing the long game and making a power move that people just don't understand? Yet it's another testament to where she is in the hierarchy of the sports food chain and the ladder of power and influence, because Caitlin Clark is Steph Curry and LeBron James. There's no difference. A great philosopher once said there's levels to this. She's on that level. Here's the thing about Caitlin Clark, she knows her value. She's not some player just happy to get an invite to a big event. She knows that wherever she goes, the cameras follow, the money follows, the fans follow. And when she was given the opportunity to be part of an NBA event, she didn't just jump at the chance like some rookie trying to prove herself. No, she said, thanks, but I'll pass. I'll do my first three-point contest on my own terms in my own league. You see Caitlin Clark using her power to benefit the WNBA, saying not that you'd never do anything with the NBA, but that she's not going to do it this time, because the first time should be with the WNBA in front of the Fever fans. And that right there is what's making people lose their minds. For decades, women's basketball players have been fighting for attention, recognition, and financial investment. The WNBA has always been in the NBA's shadow. And anytime a player gets a little bit of mainstream attention, there's this expectation that they should be grateful for any crumbs of recognition from the men's league. But Caitlin Clark isn't playing that game. She's flipping the script. She made it very clear she wants her first three-point contest to be at the WNBA All-Star Game in front of her home crowd in Indiana, and let's be honest, that's a smart move. Why should she be the NBA's special attraction when she could be the headliner of her own event? Why help boost the NBA's All-Star Weekend ratings when she could be putting all that attention on the WNBA instead? Of course, not everyone sees it that way. The second she turned down the offer, sports analysts went wild. You had people on ESPN debating whether she was making a mistake, questioning her decision, and of course you had the usual skeptics saying she was just dodging competition. Are we serious right now? Caitlin Clark isn't afraid of competition. She's been torching defenses and setting records her whole career. If she wanted to be in the NBA three-point contest, she'd be in it. No one would stop her, but that's the point. She didn't want to, because she knows her worth, and she's not going to let anyone else dictate her moves. Stephen A. Smith, as usual, had a lot to say about it. Now, for once, he actually agreed with Clark's decision, but not without throwing in a few of his classic takes. He pointed out that the WNBA All-Star Game last year had record-breaking viewership, pulling in 3.4 million viewers, while the NBA All-Star Game was struggling to get numbers anywhere close to what it used to. The NBA's All-Star Weekend has been losing its appeal, and it's no secret that they were probably hoping Caitlin Clark could give it a boost. Let's talk about that for a second. The NBA isn't exactly at its peak when it comes to All-Star Weekend. The dunk contest has lost its magic. The All-Star Game itself, players barely take it seriously anymore. Viewership has been declining, and the whole event just doesn't have the same energy it used to. So when Caitlin Clark comes along, a player who has single-handedly been breaking TV records and selling out arenas, you better believe the NBA saw an opportunity, and honestly, it makes sense from their perspective. Imagine the headlines Caitlin Clark takes on the NBA's best in the three-point contest. People would tune in just to see how she'd do. Would she hold her own? Would she get crushed? The intrigue alone would be enough to drive millions of viewers, but that's exactly why she turned it down, because she saw what was happening. She knew she was being used as a ratings boost, and she wasn't about to let that happen. And look, let's not pretend that if she had accepted, the conversation would have been just as annoying in a different way. If she won, there would have been the usual, well, it's just a shooting contest, it's not real competition takes. If she lost, people would have said, see, this is why the WNBA doesn't compare to the NBA. There was no winning scenario for her in that environment. Instead, she did something even more powerful. She reminded everyone that the WNBA matters. She's not some novelty act for the NBA's All-Star Weekend. She's the main event in her own league. Thanks for watching, and subscribe my channel.